are a part of this program with this NASA International Space Station based technology. Yes. CBD, I was on the front lines of CBD a few years ago. And if you haven't heard of CBD, it's done amazing things. Some of you guys may miss that wave. You won't miss this one right here to bless and transform people's lives and get them in homes. Princess House, Healthy Cookware, Medical Lubricant. I just believe in health and wellness, period. No health, no wealth. I guarantee you, if Elvis was here right now, he would agree. I guarantee you, if Michael Jackson were here, he would agree. No health, no wealth. You with me? I'm a Westgate Cruise and Travel Club member, certified travel agent as well. Man, we're ready to head out to Vegas. We're headed out to Vegas with Make Wealth Real Financial in August. We was there last year. Me and the leaders went out there. We was there for a couple days. Excuse me, the event was there for 2 days. We went there for 9 days. We went there 3 or 4 days prior to the event and also a few days after, and stayed at 2 different resorts while we were there. Just grateful, just grateful. Have my certified master in mindset life coaching as well. Acquired that January 2021. I know how your mind works. I promise you I do. My professors was great. Okay. Certified master in life coaching February 2022. You see some of those in the background behind me there. And my transformational coaching classes focus on the whole man. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, utilizing proven systems, processes, and principles and strategies. Now for my realtors, state professionals on the line, and renters, you want to take a look at this 11-minute video. It's just amazing of what we do. The expert, should I say. We just connect you. The power of how it benefits our real estate professionals simultaneously to help them close more loans, to close more mortgages. And the individual that invited you to the line will send you this 11-minute video, and you will see the turnkey as you just connect your clients, and then Make Wealth Real Financial will take it from there. And then they will get introduced to Mr. Tracy Mills' teams. So it's a turnkey business, and everybody win and everybody get paid. So if you got guests on the line, ensure that you send them that 11-minute video, okay? We're gonna continue to move on through, and that was a 2-minute video right there for the renters. Now, this is about the results. Look what Make Wealth Real Financial Expert has done. 10 million plus tax savings per month. What? Per month. Lowering the bills. Wealthy people don't pay bills like everybody else. Remember, Mr. Brian House said God gave him a vision to give everyday individuals access, the same access that him and his peers had. So that's exactly what he did. Everybody with me? Huh? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Thank you, Senior Vice President Karen. I'm telling you guys, I am too excited. It's so many people's lives have changed in this weekend just by viewing and listening in on this information and during the training here during the boot camp. So I'm telling you, I'm riding at an all-time high. And if you've helped people and seen people life change, people that was hopeless, people that I have a couple partners here that's in a position about to get kicked out of their homes, and they seeing it. They're in an apartment complex, and there are literally millions of people being displaced as we speak because rent had went up from $200 to $600. Not only that, there's a grant out there by the government, it's a $6 billion grant for new developers, and this is why these apartment complexes, a lot of them is kicking people out quick, fast, in a hurry, because they're going to get that $6 billion. Some of you guys have been wondering what's going on with. That's the answer. It's $6 billion at hand. But the beautiful thing is, Make Wealth Real partner with Path to Home Ownership, Mr. Lou Brown, Mr. Tracy Mills, and his team. We have the solution to counter and be a blessing to these individuals and give them hope, and most importantly, put them into a home. All right. So your bills being negotiated, $2 million plus a month. Anything from your cell phone bill to your garbage bill to, oh my God, your lights and lights in various deregulated states. Really? Yes. Debt limit eliminated. We're talking about mortgage going from 30-year mortgages to 20 years to 18 years. You kidding me? 1.5 B, that's with a big billion plus interest eliminated off the debt. Over 18,000. Now this is a given. Mr. Brian House has been in the credit restoration for 30-some years. And this was a gift right here, the credit. You don't have to pay for that. Are you kidding me? It's a gift. If you're taking those right now, gift. And look what he's had done. Over 18,000 plus credit increase 50 to 150 plus points on average 2 to 8 more months. Over 30 plus years eliminated off our members' time and debt. This is amazing, guys. Let's talk about the money. If you're taking notes, write down money, honey. It's about what you do with the money. The money is vitally and very important when you put it in the hands of good people. Now, for my realtors that's on the line, real estate investors on the line, agents, my question to you, how many clients have had that has not been approved for a home in the last 6 months? I want you to write that number down. If you're driving right now, take that mental note, okay? How many have you had? Now, if you're the manager of the office or the owner, how many realtors you have in the office? I remember Miss Juliet Jones was over in the Fayetteville office over at Caldwell, I believe it was, and a couple more over the ERA. And they had like 25, 30 some. Matter of fact, some of those guys was on the other day. But what was amazing, the manager was so excited. Why? Because if they don't close homes, they're out of business. It's just that simple. So realtors, this foregone opportunities, the money walking out the door, we have the solution for it. So let's think about it. Let's say in the last 6 months and 35 agents in the office, 100 individuals have not been approved. And then put that number. We're going to do 100. We're going to say at least 100, right? And then how about for last year, in the last year? And how about the last 3 years? Now let's do the math. Now for 100, if they partner with you, that's $50 a pop. But they don't need a partner. They only be a customer, and that's it. It's only $149.97 to be a customer or a partner. To activate the partnership, just additional $100. But so you're going to have you already have the customers, realtors, period, right? So imagine 100 customers, $40 a pop. That's $4,000 gone. Yes, in 1 month, 4,000. Yes, excuse me. That was 6 months. So for a year, that would be $8,000. Remember, I'm using conservative number. I don't exaggerate. It's not my style. We got enough exaggerators out there. Okay. Now it doesn't stop there. You said what? What you mean it doesn't stop there? You can also get $5,000 to $15,000 daily guarantee. No one is doing daily guarantee. No one is doing this on the planet, but we are. Now watch this. No, we're not salespeople. We're educators, we're connectors, and we're missionaries. Seriously, we believe in serving the people. Now watch this. I have never seen a compensation plan like this in my life. Never. Anyone that's been in the industry and business, we know that partners carry more weight. Customers carry less weight. That's generally what the deal is. Conversations driven by partners, not here at Make What Real Financial. So it only takes 3 partners. If you're taking notes, write down 3. But please don't let your minimum be your maximum. Write down 3. It only takes 3 partners to trigger this money. So realtors, watch this. 3 partners. Renters, watch this, because you're going to refer. Watch this. 3 partners. Individuals that come in as partners. After they come in as partners, you're going to be referring people anyway. You already have the clients. So the number that I utilized earlier was 100. So let's look at the compensation plan under team members. So at 100 team members, that will be right there at 90. You will be a 4-star executive director. That means you're doing $100 a day, $3,000 a month, because it's on autopilot. Remember, the program has 3 years to rent their home. This is what's amazing. Up to 3 years to rent to home. So you're talking about passive money flowing. You understand? $36,500. The average American makes $20-something thousand a year. The average American that looks like me makes less than that, like 14, 16,000. You understand what I'm telling you? So you can bless and transform some people's lives just by doing what you're doing. Telling once about something that's great and how something is blessed and transforms someone's life. Now, for you go, now some people out there, they say, huh, 100 people? No. I'm looking at my number. The beautiful thing is you can look at this compensation plan and whatever it takes to supplement your lifestyle or even do it part-time, you can pick your number out. You say, I want to do $1,000 a day. I want to make $30,000 a month. Just look there. It's what? Team members or how many? How many? Oh, that's right. I'm used to training. Okay. I was like, what? They're not saying that, but y'all muted out. 1,800 members. 1,800 members. Now, I want everybody to understand this. This is how powerful MWR is, this compensation plan. No, we're not salespeople. We're not big, not convinced. No. In the previous program, I stopped counting. I had 3,000 plus partners in my organization, and I stopped counting. That's a small team in this industry, 3,000. So when you look at 3,000 members in the previous program that I was in, I would have been at $45,000 a month. Now, I did $20,000, $30,000 a month, but guess what? 3,000, 45. Oh my goodness. Now, some of you might be looking at the end of this compensation plan. You might be looking at the very bottom. You're one of those real go-getters, and I am too. But look here, there's other ways to get paid. Remember, realtors, renters, you're not convincing anyone. Realtors, you already have the customers walking out the door. Renters that's tired of renting on, getting forced out of their homes, you've been telling people about great things. I know you're gonna tell them when Mr. Tracy Miles is gonna take care of you. Okay? You can become in the Millionaire Residual Income Club. We have one on the line. Brother Coach T, Brother Trevor Thompson, very humble brother. Him and Miss Shirley Thompson, awesome, beautiful human beings. But the beautiful thing is they're not even focused where they at. They're not. They're focused on helping other people get where they are and past them. You with me? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, the question is, are you willing to lead the Fire Your Landlord movement in your business, your company, your family, your generation, and community, now that you are more knowledgeable and educated? Yes or yes? Yes, I knew you were. Now, guys, let's talk about more benefits for the professionals, the real estate professionals, and for our renters that's on the line. And guys, get your pen and paper. Please get in a quiet place. I'm telling you, Mr. Tracy Mill is the cream of the crop, Yes, and he's very passionate, him and his amazing team, about helping individuals, guys. And here's a few of the levels that you will hear him talk about and mention too. But grab your pen and paper. We're about to transition so we can hear from Mr. Tracy Mills right here. Mr. Tracy, are you on, sir?
I am. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you very well. Can you see me?
Sure can. Everything's
wonderful, clear. Wonderful. Okay. So let me switch gears here. Okay, it's not good. And we're going to bring up the screen for Mr. Tracy. Guys, remember, any questions you have, he loves questions. And if you have questions for me, we can entertain those as well, but we're going to get right to this. You can connect with me, the individual that invited you. Go connect back with them in reference to the MWR compensation plan. Trust me, either them or their success coach and mentor can break it down and answer some of those questions. Pretty simple, I do believe what I share. But more clarification, please connect with us. Can you guys see my screen? Nope.
No, sir.
Okay, I haven't hit you. Okay, here we go. All right. I am so excited. Amazing things continue to happen. You should be able to see it now, yes?
No.
It was, and it went away.
We saw it a couple seconds ago. Okay.
Oh, it's going to stay. It's going to stay. Here we go.
There we go.
All right, Mr. Tracy Mills down there in Charleston, South Carolina, looking to see him, seeing your brother and meeting you in person. How's it going this great afternoon?
A little chilly for South Carolina.
I hear you. We got
a surprise this weekend.
For sure. Yes, sir. The line is yours.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me this evening. It's been a great weekend so far. I was excited because I haven't talked to you about this since we last met, but I actually went to one of our Work for Equity homes on Friday for our final inspection for the work that they were doing. and it's a young couple that had bought a home. They've been told no by the bank and ran into our program. And so they've been with us for about 4 months now, and they did a lot of work on their work for equity. And so yesterday was their final inspection. And I drove around the block, and as I turned the block going to the house, I could see their house sticking out from everybody else's in the neighborhood because they had had a fresh coat of paint put on it. And when the girlfriend drove up, she was smiling from ear to ear. And I asked our guy, Eli, I said, does she smile like that all the time? He said, yeah, we have a house now, so we're on our way. Beautiful. So those are the things that make this all worthwhile, is just being able to see those things happen. They did a great job on the house. They got credit for it, doing the work themselves. They painted it the color they wanted to paint it. And it's just a win-win for everybody. So I spent Friday doing that. So it's always a boost in the arm to go do something like that and come back feeling good about what you've done. So that's what we're here for. So
that is amazing. They were like 21 years old.
Well, they're 21. Well, I think he's 22 now, and she's 22 as well. And this is their first home together. And they got great jobs. They work hard. They're great citizens. Nobody would give them a chance because they just didn't have any established credit. And by being able to prove that they could afford to make the payments, and they had some down payment money to work with, and as well, they put themselves in a better position by doing some work that needed to be done on the house, got credit for that, which helped them lower their house payment. They're smart enough to say, we think we're going to try to make some extra on top of our monthly payment every month so we can pay our house off faster. So they were off to a great start. They don't even realize all the impact of what they've just done yet. I told him, when you do your taxes this year, you're really going to be able to see a difference in when you were renting and now that you own, and everything that you put into this house, keep up with it because it is a tax deduction. So we haven't even had a chance to talk about that. So it was just one of those great days. So my name is Tracy Mills, and I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been in North Carolina and South Carolina most of my life. And I grew up in a very small community of 640 people at the time. I think we're down to about 590 there now. But just a real small farming community, and grew up relatively poor. Didn't even know that. Everybody around us had the same things, so we really didn't know we were poor. But we grew up very humble, and I enjoyed growing up there. It was very good to grow up there. So I left that town and went to work for the fire department in Columbia, South Carolina. Worked there for about 4 years, and then I became a state trooper with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. They moved me to Charleston and Columbia and several different places. So I got out of that after about 5 years and went into home building and doing renovation work. And I kept running into investors and doing work for investors, and kept thinking, wow, I'm doing all the work and these guys are getting all the houses. Could I buy a house? And then somebody told me I could buy a house for zero money down. And I said, you got to show me that. And so I ended up buying my first house with no money down, but it was a wreck, and I had to fix it up and getting it sold and those type of things. Anyway, so for the last 20 years, I've done flipping, I've done renting, I've done everything that can be done with real estate. I've dabbled in a little bit of it. And the very depressing part about it is you go in, you find a great deal on a house, you go in and put all this work into it and fix it up like you think it should be fixed up. You put it on the market and people start coming in, will you rent it? Because I can't qualify for a mortgage. Or they come in and they love the house, they need the house, but they can't qualify for a mortgage. And so you had to hold out for this small percentage of people that actually could go to the bank and borrow the money to pay you for what you needed for your house. And then we also tried doing the lease options back in 06, I think it was. We had a lot of lease options. And if you had $4,000 or $5,000 to put down and could show any kind of income, we'd put you in a house, and then you had a year or two to try to figure it out. And if it didn't work out, then you had to leave. And it always worked out that people would only stay a short while, and then they were on to somewhere else, and we were busy trying to put somebody else in the house. And it just wasn't very rewarding, and it didn't feel like we were doing what we set out to do. So that's when I ran into Mr. Lou Brown and his Path to Homeownership program, and I became a certified affordable housing provider with his organization, Street Smart. And in our program, the Path to Homeownership, really just opened my eyes to, man, this is what I've been looking for all of my life. It's a structured plan where anybody can get into home ownership if they're willing to do some work. And by that, I mean, pay your bills on time, have a job and keep a job, or some kind of income that you're working with. Take care of your house. It's not as easy as just put me in a house and then I'm just going to live here until it crashes and falls apart. And what we noticed by doing this was when neighborhoods had owners in them, they were better places to live and better citizens in the community by having home ownership. Not that renters are all bad. It's just it's a temporary housing position, and you really just are not focused on the house itself. You're just focused on everyday living and trying to pay the bills and getting by. But when you're buying a house, you're investing in that piece of soil, and you're digging into that community and becoming a part of that. So that's what really attracted me to that, is we were able to go in, and instead of renting homes, we were able to put people in that were buying these houses, and they just go all out. This guy that I went to Friday, they went above and beyond on painting their house to make sure that it fit the rest of the neighborhood, and brought the neighborhood up, and they're reaching out to the neighbors around them to try to get even build more relationships. And that's what we need in this country. We don't need all the neighbors not knowing each other. So that's just a wonderful thing. Anyway, I'll get back on script here. So our home ownership program that we have a team here in Charleston. We're scattered all over the United States, but we all work collectively together. So Andrew, if you don't mind pushing forward one. So we are a certified affordable housing provider, and my company is called Live Oak Solutions here in Charleston. And during this presentation, you'll learn who we are, about our unique program that we have, and how we're different from traditional sellers, and the benefits that we can provide over your typical seller and what they can do, and also how you can buy a house today. So who we are, we're a multi-service company, and we are investors. So we buy, repair, rent, and we sell homes. And we provide friendly and honest service customized to fit the needs of our buyers. And we work with all types of buyers and situations, including shortage of down payment, credit issues, those that have never bought a home. We can work with those people. So as a nationwide network of certified affordable housing providers, we work to create win-win solutions for buyers, sellers, lenders of money, and also work with realtors. So we've got over 65 years of combined experience in my office of working with families into the community. And we just ask you to beware of imitations. There are out there that are trying to pull some things off, but we are the original here, and we're pretty invested in what we do and have a system. So my team here at Live Oak Solutions consists of 4 people other than myself. Mr. Joe Caron is from Connecticut, but he actually lives in Charleston, where I am. Steve Lurie is in Nashville, Tennessee. He's actually a realtor. Andrea Hayes is in Boston, Massachusetts. Lowell Carroll is in Las Vegas, Nevada. And you may be talking to any one of these people at certain points of what we do. They all handle a little bit different part of our program. Each of our offices is independently owned and operated, but our home office is in Tucker, Georgia, where Mr. Lou Brown is. So I am, like I said, a certified affordable housing provider. I was certified in 2015, and I've been trained and certified to share this program with you. I am a housing counselor and field representative for the Certified Affordable Housing Provider brand, and we have someone in every state in the United States. So what if you don't qualify, or your clients don't qualify for FHA or regular traditional bank financing? Well, they can join our Path to Home Ownership program, and they may qualify either for our in-house financing, or you can rent to own for up to 3 years. Now, there are some restrictions that apply, and not all applicants or properties will qualify for each program, but we can usually take each person's situation and find a place to put them in our path to get them to home ownership, to help them end up with that. And you just have to look at, wouldn't you like to own your home? Most people would, rather than renting. Nobody really wants to rent, but it's what we get stuck with. So what if you could own versus rent? You get to enjoy the pride of home ownership and having things to do your way and done your way. And you also get to build your family's future in the community and enjoy the tax benefits that go along with home ownership. Go right, that's fine, go right ahead. So actually, this is Eli and Bernice right here. This is a picture of them who I went to see on Friday that we're finishing up. And that brick background that you see there now, it has been changed to an old battleship gray color. They painted the entire outside of the house. So this is who I was actually with on Friday. So our path to home ownership steps start off at our rent to own level. So like we stated earlier, you can start off on a rent to own up to 3 years. You can be in that home on a rent to own status. And our goal is to move you up into our agreement for deed or in-house financing so that you're actually buying the home and getting the benefits of home ownership as far as tax deductions, appreciation, depreciation. All of those things go a long way into your financial situation. And over the last 3 years, we've actually had people that were in our rent to own program that were able to sell the house they were renting to own and make a profit on it because it had appreciated so much. So even though they had not even closed on the home yet, they had an option on the house and they exercised their option and sold it to somebody else and made a profit, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, that's what we really like to be able to see on this. But anyway, you can move to our agreement for deed, and then past that, once we get you into our owner financing part of things, our goal here is to try to help you through MWR get your financial situation so that you are bankable and you can go to the bank if you want to and move right on up into traditional financing, FHA, conventional, whatever that might be. And then you just cash us out and you're on your way. And now you have your home with a regular traditional bank loan. Now, one of the great things about our program is this is not a new finance. So if you're in our agreement for deed program and we're working with a banker trying to get you, or a lender trying to get you into conventional loan, that's a refinance at that point because you've already got financing. So the situation is going to be a lot easier and a lot faster than doing a traditional first-time home buyer program. So all of this stuff really goes into a faster path when it may not happen overnight, but because the path is just laid out so seamless, it can just roll from one step right on into the other. So Brad and Sonia here, they said, thanks for making it so easy to buy. We thought we would never be able to own our own home, but you've made our dream come true. And now we have tax write-offs, which we all know lowers your income and the amount of taxes that you have to pay. So we're happy for Brad and Sonia. So you can get into our in-house financing with our company for as little as 10% down payment. And sales here, I think in this instance, we have a sales price of $225,000. So the down payment on this would need to be about $22,500. The great news is here, you can use a combination of all kinds of money. If you have 401ks left over from a previous job, or you have family members that are willing to help you with your down payment, or other down payment assistance programs that may be out there, and also our Work for Equity in-house grant program, where most of the houses we find out here today all need some type of work. Some of them need a lot of work. And instead of, just like this family, this young couple we just did in Lake City, South Carolina, instead of us going in and fixing that house up the way we wanted to fix it up and putting in, you know, if we're going to do it as investors, we're not going to go out and buy the most expensive fixtures and the most expensive towel racks and toilet paper holders and those type of things. We're going to get the normal contractor pack. But by letting them go in as home buyers and say, yeah, we'll do this work and here's what we'll do it for, and it fit the budget, and we were able to say, all right, you guys go ahead and do it, and when you're done with it, we'll take that off of the price of the house, and that credits towards your down payment. So they've increased the value of their house. They've made it their way. They got credit for it, and it helped them with their down payment. So there's a no-lose situation here. The only thing we've run into is every now and again, somebody will take on a little bit more work than maybe they know how to do because they get excited and go, yeah, I'll do the kitchen flooring. And it was a snap down flooring and they just stuffed it together and nailed it down. So they had to do that over a little bit, but it really wasn't that big a deal. So we do have to look for those type of things. But for the most part, most of this work can be done by just individuals. So that's the great thing about our program. We have different ways. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. And that's why we have to evaluate it, find out where we are, what we can do to help, and see how the best way to work that out. I know you probably already know this, but over 43 million Americans have credit scores below 599. And so our program, along with MWR, can help you change that. And even by being in our program, making your house payments on time can be a big help in getting your credit score up, because when those payments are reported as well, it helps you go along that way. So I will tell you, go ahead. Did I hear you?
My apology. This is Montavo.
Hey,
All
Montavo.
right, Mr. Montavo, how you doing, sir?
Blessed and highly favored.
That you are and that we are. The line is yours, brother.
Wow. I don't even know where to start, really. Actually, what I'm going to tell you, you will find in a full overview testimony. It's going to be a little different than most testimonies because there's a lot to cover, and it'll be shot at the location. But one thing I can say for both MWR and Keys to Ownership, the work that they put in and have put in for me, and I'm just speaking on self, I'm under maybe 3 or 4 people that I've already started to help with this, but I'm only going to talk about me right now. The work that was put in cannot be put to a value. Okay, it's beyond this world. And I say that truly because of the simple fact what I'm getting ready to share with you right now is facts. Number one, when I got with MWR, credit was in the backyard, upside down, playing in the sand pit. My work, my employment was basically wrenching every dime that I was putting in away from me, and other things that we run into by being, pardon my French, ignorant to the fact of how money works. And I'll be the first one to stand up and raise my hand. I was not taught. It was not taught in my school. My parents didn't know it. It's just a vicious cycle that happened. But there's a gold ring around it. The work that they put in was, like I said, you can't even put a price on it. I can. But now, after 3 months, dealt with one lender, and you'll hear all about this. That didn't go well. Got up with the lender that I have that's actually in my team and is going to bring, to all of your teams. I'm pretty sure we're all going to mix. This is a family, so it's going to be a reunion very shortly. Within 2 weeks, now going on 3, in between 2 holidays, my closing is Wednesday at 2:00 for my very first house. Mind you, not just any ordinary house, but no house is ordinary. This is a brand new one. Fresh. So, like I said, the full overview of this testimony will be recorded and shared with everybody in the system, so you get a chance to see all the ins and outs of actually what happened. It's quite interesting. Back to you.
Wow, that is amazing, guys. Wow, it's a new home. You guys got to come off mute. Let's celebrate. Let's come off mute. We got to celebrate. Come off mute. Celebrate. This is the news and this.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Absolutely.
All right. Way to go.
Line
So
back here, Mr. Tracy.
So I'll just say, to add to this is the great thing about our pre-qualification process. The very first thing we're going to do is, when we talk with a client that you send to us through MWR, is get them pre-qualified. And we're going to find out where they are right now to see what step in our program is going to be best from them. And I remember us talking very early on, Michelle, who was the MWR rep with our Certified Affordable Housing Program, said, you know, we were able to figure out really quickly that they would qualify for traditional financing right out of the gate. And we had a house that was ready to go, and it just snapped right together. Now, as he has stated, everything doesn't go perfect the first run round, but when the stars align, they just do. And so that is why our program is designed the way it is. We want to find out where you are. Now, not everybody is ready for that step where they can just go right on into traditional financing and go out and buy a brand new home. But in this case, it worked out perfectly. So we want to take advantage of that and make sure that we're plugging that part of it in and finding the very best program that we can and the very best house that we can. So it is a lot of searching sometimes. It's a lot of digging, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of turn downs to find the right position to put a house into our program. So back to kind of my script here. If you don't have much down payment to work with, we have several options for that. We offer a grant program called the Work for Equity program, where you can do some or all of the fix up and repair on a home, and we can grant you credit toward your down payment or your option fee on a price that we agree to do together. And you can earn credit for all on-time payments. So especially in our rent-to-own program, if your payments are made on time, there's a portion of that will go towards your purchase or your down payment that you can build credit up over time. And you can even earn credit for work done on other properties. So I say this almost every time, roofs are our biggest thing right now. Roofs and HVAC and electricals and plumbing. And a lot of the people that come to us are tradespeople because they are self-employed, and the banks just really won't work with them because they have a hard time.
Mr. Tracy, can you guys see him fine? My screen froze. Is it me or is it everyone?
I'm connected.
It's off. We can't hear her.
Can't hear him.
Not see
Mr. Tracy, we don't hear you. All right. While Mr. Tracy's getting back on, I'm sure he'll be back on. That, oh my goodness, Mr. Matabo, Brother Matabo, my kingdom brother over there. Whoa. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the details of that. Brother Trevor, you still on? And two, as I was training with the team yesterday, the amazing thing too, and Mr. Tracy, I'm sure he's going to talk about this, it was, the fact is that, say if you cut hair on the side, then you add that to help you get qualified. Cosmetology, as long as you can report it, as long as you can verify it. So if you put it on your Cash App, your PayPal, or Zelle, whatever, however that is happening, you can document that information. And you can document that information. That means you get qualified for more home. Matter of fact, one of our partners, and soon to be another partner, is Miss Diane Spencer. She does hair. She does cosmetology. She's a cosmetologist. So she does hair on the side. So she's about to add that back, those monies. Her friend Jessica, you might as well say her sister, who has been, came and attended to the WPGW Radical Leadership Boot Camp here at the WPGW Embassy in Wilmington, North Carolina. She does hair and stylist as well. So it's so many ways that it's unheard of. They was like blown away. They was at the edge of their seats, I'm telling you. So remember, individuals that's interested in this information, ensure that they're jumping on these educational sessions, webinars. Mr. Lou Brown does them on Tuesday. Also, Mr. Tracy Miles does it on the Rotate Tuesday. So whoever invited you and you're interested or you're locked in, guys, get in. This information is invaluable. I promise you. There is no one on the planet doing what they are doing. This is God sent, period. This is God's business. You guys already know Mr. Brian House is a believer, kingdom brother. President Obama is a kingdom brother. And no, we're not forcing our beliefs and thoughts on anyone, but we're going to give God the glory. Is that fine? All right. So this is so amazing. So work for equity, and earn credit for all time payments. And Mr. Tracy doesn't work for like $100. Plus, this is the other thing that he mentioned. Now, outside, say someone says, I don't want to come into MWR. You give them, they say they come through Mr. Tracy, you still refer them, they're going to give you $250 to $500 for credit. Okay? $250. Are you kidding me? This is huge. Can you guys see my screen?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I just want to add one thing. Beautiful presentation, by the way. This is Montalvo.
Thank you,
I had
Montalvo.
to come back in because of what you just said. One of the helping deciding factors for me to get into this home was because I was able to verify and show the income from MWR, which I hadn't touched because I knew I was going to go into a home. So I wanted to have a pocket of money sitting for an extended period of time. When they saw that, plus my employment, hands down, walk in the door.
Wow. And you are what, a 4-star or something there?
3-star.
3-star.
Soon to be much higher.
Beautiful, beautiful, guys. You hear that? So MWR monies count towards your income, proof of income. Wow.
Correct.
This is beautiful. And Mr. Tracy, what led Mr. Montalvo? Is it Montalvo? How do you pronounce it, please?
It's Montalvo.
Montalvo. Okay, Brother Montalvo, as I was telling him about, like Miss Diane Spencer, of course, she's going to resubmit her stuff because she does hair on the side. And as I was training this weekend, they was like, wow, you can add that too? She has a friend here, Jessica, in the same apartment complex. They do hair. And they said, we can show more monies. And when I said that, that triggered Brother Montalvo there, that they looked at his MWR money flowing. And that was helping. He said he started stacking. He started building that money, holding that money. And would you tell the realtors and renters on the line, the brothers and sisters on the line, Brother Trace, in reference to your VIP program as well, like the Leadaway deal?
So for us, we also, kind of our other step down from doing the work for equity is you can do a house on layaway. So if you just look at the situation and go, you know what, I only have $500 to work with right now. I'm just nowhere near getting started. We can take that and put it in our VIP account. We don't use that money for anything. It's just a place for you to put it and park it, because we found out if the money's sitting in your cookie jar or in your bank account, sometimes things show up and they want that money. You know, your car breaks down, something like that happens just because you have it. Whereas if you've already identified that you're going to put it in the VIP account for your home, it's a little bit safer sometimes, not as easy to get to. But if you ever needed that money, all you got to do is tell us you need it and it's back to you. There's no fees involved, anything like that. It's just a way to try to help you build up and get to a position where you're ready. And it also helps us monitor where you're at. So if you come to us and we pre-qualify you and you've only got $500 to put down, but I've got enough income to pay for the house that I'm being qualified for, but I've only got $500, and you just say, well, I'm going to go see what I can come up with. We don't know where you are until we hear from you again. And so you could just show up one day and go, okay, I've got my $5,000 now, I'm ready to go. Well, then we got to start looking for a home to fit your need. Whereas if you've got it in a VIP account and we're watching you put $200 or $300 here, $500 there, another $100 every week, or however is the best you can do, we can see when you start getting close to what you need and know to go ahead and kick things into action And if there's something we can do to help along the way, we can do that. Just because now we're more involved in what's going on. So it's just one other opportunity. There's not a requirement for that, but it is another opportunity if that helps you get where you want to go. Okay, you can go on to the next slide. So here's where Ms. Tara Bell was working on her house. This one is in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was in our path to home ownership and decided to do some work for equity on a home she was buying. So this is just a before shot and an after shot of a little closet and window area in her home where she actually went in and painted the home to her own liking of colors. She did some beautiful work with shutters, got her pantry all loaded up with she put in a door that had windows in it so she could see into it better. Just a lot better look than what was there before. And to be honest with you, she did a lot prettier job than we may have done. We may have just stuck a regular old door in there and let it and called it a day, whereas she put her own touch on it. And then this is also the exact same house. She had never done tile work before, but decided she wanted to tackle this kitchen. So she did that. She redid the cabinets, put in a new stove, retiled the backsplash, put in new countertops, all a great looking kitchen. She did it the way she wanted to do it, and all while she was getting credit for doing it. So it's almost like she had a job working on the house to help her buy this house. And that's just a program that nobody else offers out there. We use it almost every house that we sell because there's typically something that needs to be done that people want to do their own way. Now, if somebody says, look, I don't want to touch it, I just want it to be turnkey, we can do that too. But this just gives a little bit better opportunity. One of our favorite stories out there is Mr. Leon Harris. I'm 63 years old, and because of your company, I was able to get the opportunity for home ownership for the first time in my life. We transformed the house and our lives with your Work for Equity program. Thank you so much. So Mr. Leon Harris, he and his wife moved into their very first home that they owned. He drove by and saw a sign in the yard, called in and found out our program. He said, yes, sign me up. I can do some of the work. So he had his son come in and help him. And Mr. Harris has since passed on, but his family still lives in that house. His wife has a house that they worked on together, and it's their house. So it's a phenomenal story, and it's what we really live for, to see these things happen and transpire. And you got to understand that Mr. Harris was willing to do the work here. He wasn't asking for a handout. He just wanted somebody to give him an opportunity, and that's what we were able to do. So how we benefit you, we'll work with you regardless of your credit or background to attain valuable home ownership. We can work with down payment options, tax benefits, we sell the house at a fair price, and plus, because of NWR, we have credit fix options to help you lower your payments down the line when you get ready to walk into maybe a traditional loan. So we hope that you'll walk away fully satisfied. Myron and Carol Johnson told us that we made it safe and easy for them to be able to move forward on their house. We're excited about our future ownership thanks to you guys. So it's just one more opportunity we were able to help a family. I know the picture here, this group came in and had never had home ownership and had a family. These are all foster kids and adopted children, and they turned this place into a home. And when nobody else would finance them because of their the background that they had been renters all their life, and they had never proven they really didn't have much credit to work with. But guess what? They had a down payment to work with. They could show that they made the income to pay for the house. So they were able to move forward in our program. And that's how we get started.
Wow, Mr. Tracy, that picture right there, just looking at that picture is just heartfelt with the so-called diversity. But at the end of the day, we're human beings. So, and this is not diversity, but this just is beautiful.
That's exactly what Miss Bidell was her name. She actually told us, we're an interracial family, and a lot of places just really won't pay us any attention. And we didn't see that. All we needed to see is that, look, we can't put somebody into a home. We don't want to set them up to fail. So we're not going to take something and go, all right, we're going to squeeze you in here, but you might make it and you might not. It's going to be up to you to make it. We want to make sure we're on solid ground. So we're making sure that we have a down payment to work with. We're making sure that you've got enough income to pay for the house that we're putting you in. And I got to tell you, there are times when we come to a junction when we say, look, I know you want this $300,000 house. I do too. But your income is only going to let you pay for a $120,000 house. So let's start you off with a $120,000 house. Let's change your life, get you in the MWR program, get some money coming in on top of what you already do, or find out something you can do to help your situation a little better. And then we can trade your house in and move you up to another house, all under the same program. We're not going to lock you into this position. So if people are willing to do the things they need to do, this is a great program to just continually work yourself up. And because of our nationwide program, if you decide you want to move to Arizona, we've got a program out there that we can move you to Arizona.
There's nobody doing this. There is nobody on the planet doing this. This is incredible.
So Steve and Kathy here said, thank you. My wife and we're finally able to get out of our rental and into a home of our own. With our past credit issues, we would never have thought it was possible. You helped us with negative items on our credit reports and taught us how to gain financial independence. And we're so glad we were able to help them move forward into getting into a path to homeownership home. So the two key factors that really kick in, and we've talked about this already today, is your total household income. Typically, your monthly payment should be no more than a third of your monthly income after expenses. And so what that means is not your electric bill and your water bill and your cable bill, but like if you have a car payment or you have credit card payments, all of those things are going to deduct off of your total before tax income. And then it's about a third of whatever's left over should be about what you spend on a house. So if it comes out to $1,300, we're going to be bouncing around in that neighborhood of trying to find a house that fits that criteria for your payment. We don't want to put you in a house that's $2,000 a month because you're going to fail. The law of averages is just going to run over you. So we want to make sure we're staying in your budget so that you can succeed at this and even move up as things get better. And then, of course, your down payment. Everything's going to require some kind of down payment to work with. The larger your down payment is, the lower your monthly payment will be because you'll be paying down. You're paying less interest on money that you've already started to put down. So we've had people come in with $4,000 or $5,000. We've had people come in with $50,000, $75,000 from a previous sale of a house, or grandma had been saving money for them all their life and just was waiting on the moment that they were mature enough to move forward with a house. And then grandma shows up and goes, well, I've been putting this money up for you a little bit. So a lot of people get blessed that way, and it's just one more boost that helps them down the road. Here's Miss Lisa Moore. She's in Kingstree, South Carolina. It's very easy to get started. You simply complete our application, which is $50 per person. We do have a application you have to fill out, and a background check that we do on each individual that's going to be moving into the house over 18. So we've got several people in our program that are bringing adult children with them. And so each one of those would have to fill out an application and a background check. We ask you to provide us with your credit report. We'll help you do that. Our decision is not based on your credit score, but we're using the credit report to verify your debts that you're showing us. If you have a car payment or you have credit card payments or any other things out there, student loans, that credit report will verify that for us. That's what we're really after. So we're not looking to pull your credit to put a ding on it. We'll show you how to do it. Then that analysis determines the best program for your situation. So you may need to start off on our rent to own program and start the path there. Or like Montalvo, we may find out that you jumped top to the list. You're in the platinum program. You run right into a conventional lender into a brand new home. So that is the reason we do that qualification, is to find out where you are and what's the best situation we can come up with for you. We'll find a house that fits your need and program requirements. Sometimes it's in inventory, but if not, we'll find the house that fits your situation. And credit restoration could also be your next best step. I got to tell you, Miss Moore here, who's holding up one of our books, Never Pay Rent Again. She was in a very small town. She had been living out of a motel because her landlord actually sold her home that she was living in. She was a foster parent and she had adopted children that she was taking care of. Just a great human being on the earth. She's a CNA, so she's always working with elderly people, helping them take care of their daily needs. So just a big giver in the world. And when she came to us on a house that we had in inventory and looked at it, and she said, I'd really like to see if I can qualify for this house, we were able to work with her with the down payment money that she did have to work with, and she took on some of the work for equity for her house as well. And I'll be doggone if she didn't move into this house, and I don't know how she did it, but she showed up with a brand new heat and air unit that was put in about 2 months after moving in. The house didn't have air conditioning in it at the moment, and she said, I've got window units, it'll be fine. And 2 months later, we found out, I don't know if she qualified for a grant or just, I don't know how she pulled that off, but she had a brand new unit put in that house. Now she is just moving up from our rent to own program into our in-house financing, which means now everything that she puts into that home is a deduction for her. So she's just, like I say, it's just one of our favorite stories. And you see the smile on her face. This is just, she can't hold herself together, because this was actually the day that we were cutting the water on and getting all the paperwork done and moving her into her, getting her into her home. So she was just happy, happy, happy. And that's the way we like for it to be. So another way that you can earn money to help with all this is referring your friends. You can earn money. Surely you know others who'd be interested in owning their own home and improving their credit. Just give us their name and number and we'll take it from there and get them into our program. And you'll earn credits toward your down payment, or we can just pay you a referral fee. So usually it's up to about $250, and sometimes it's even $500 depending on the situation, just for sending somebody to us. And when we put them in a home, then we're glad to pay you a referral fee for sending them to us.
And Mr. Tracy, this is amazing. I was mentioning this to the team. They was blown away, and they're about to start sending houses for real. Because if it's not an MWR partner, even if it's not an MWR partner, if it's MWR partners, of course, you're not getting 250. But if it's outside the MWR, it's just homes, period. And you guys go in there and the home that we send you and you close, that's $250 to $500. So individuals can begin to even shop around the neighborhood and make monies to bring in their down payment or to put them in a better place for more home. This is unheard of. The team was in here the leaders in here was about to go bonkers yesterday. It was like, what, are you serious? It's like, I didn't know this. This is why you got to get on the trainings. You got to get on the calls. Now, how did this benefit the realtors? Where can the realtors benefit here?
So where this really realtors come in for us, and I go out and talk to a lot of realtors every day, they are the heartbeat of houses. They see people buying and selling houses more than anybody else. That's where everybody turns when it comes to buying or selling a house. So as we've talked about, typically only about 70 to 80% of the public can walk into a lender and get a mortgage. So you're only dealing with sometimes 20 to 30% of the population. Well, what if you had an opportunity to help the people that you normally would say, look, I'm sorry you got turned down, come back when your situation changes? What if you could take those people right now and plug them into our path to home ownership? You sometimes with us together find them a home, and then once we get a home that we can put in our program for them, now they're moving on to the path to home ownership. And with realtors, typically if you're working, and if you're just going to send us a name and number, there's usually a $250 to $500 referral fee. But if you've got somebody, you've already run them through a loan broker, you found out what their debt to income ratio is, they've got down payment to work with, you've already found out about that, you know their situation, you bring them to us, we'll typically, once we place them into a home, can give you 20% of their down payment as your payment. So it's a way where you can actually almost make up to 3%. So you could almost make a commission just off somebody you would have turned around and sent out the door and hope that they came back to you once their situation changed. But now you get to be a part of their change and a part of their life, and you'll become known as the person who can help people that nobody else can help.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So realtors listening on, real estate owners, that competitive advantage is a beautiful thing, isn't it, Mr. Tracy?
Yes, it is, because I'm telling you, once it happens to one person, you really do become the go-to person in the office when they go, well, we had to turn this person down. Well, let's go over here to so-and-so, and I think they may have something that can help you. And they may not have to be familiar with it, but they just heard it was successful. So that's a good way to get this done. So my team and I, we look forward to creating a solution for you and your clients that you may have MWR, or as realtors, if you have clients that are coming in, we look to find a solution to help them. Now, it's a new day and it's a new way, and we've been doing this. I think we've had the path to home ownership now for about 10 years, and we have just a ton of testimonials all over the country, just like Montalvo here. Didn't have a clue that he was going to be able to buy a new home right now, just probably right out of the gate. That just wasn't on the top of the list, and then to find out, wow, I really did qualify for this, and we got this pulled off. That's the way this works, and that's what excites us as well. Now, I will say here, just very quickly, a lot of this is great information, and you get excited and go, I'm going to go out and find everybody that needs a home, and we're going to get them in a home. It doesn't quite work that easy. There is a lot of qualification that goes on. We have to look for houses to fit every scenario, every price range, every need. And there are a lot of phone calls involved. It's not always as easy as, here's a house, write a check, close, move in. If it really was that easy, man, we would be on the news. They'd have people lined up putting in houses. So sometimes there's a lot of patience involved here. I know we were on a call Friday afternoon with Vice President Adami. Is that his name? I hope I didn't slaughter that.
Adama Tosin, Mr. Adama Tosin, yes.
That's right, him. And he did a very wonderful job of listening to a small focus group on how to help the NWR people gather this stuff quicker. And so what we've really come up with is there's usually like a 30 to 90 day time frame in here of finding somebody a home. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen in 30, and sometimes at 90 we're still not there, but typically that's where we're looking. And I got to tell you, once we got started with this, the onslaught of people looking for homes just came pouring in. So it took us a minute to even learn how to categorize all of this information and get people into a place where we could keep up with all of their information. So we tackled that, did it, and now we're getting in houses. I know Ms. Spencer sent in, I don't know, 7 or 8 houses here yesterday. We've already started qualifying some of these houses to try to reach out and see if we can't get them into our program. And so it's just like anything else. When you go out and start talking, if you've got 100 houses, I got to be honest with you, probably only those 10 of those houses are ever going to even talk to us. And then out of that, we may only get 2 people that agree to sell. So it's an onslaught. You know, we get just houses come in all the time, and it does, a lot of times they're owned by portfolios that don't want to sell houses. People on the do not call list. It's a chore sometimes, but it is a way. The best way we have found out is by having people boots on the ground in the neighborhood looking for their own home, so that we know when they send one into us, they're interested in this home. If I can work this out, then this will probably work out, instead of us just pulling a list of houses and going, well, we don't know anything about the neighborhood. We don't know anything about this house at all, other than it just fits the price criteria. So it's always better when we've got boots on the ground and people looking for their own homes. And so Miss Spencer sent in, what, 7 or 8 houses yesterday. Even if she didn't want one of these houses and we bought it, she's going to get a referral fee off of that just because she sent it in and nobody else had. So it's a no-lose situation. It's just nothing bad could come out of sending these houses in. And if we bought all 7 of them, man, she's almost there with her down payment.
Now that's just amazing right there. And this is why they was really going bonkers yesterday as I was training. Basically what I did, and I will send the recording for Friday to you too, Mr. Trace, as well as Brother T, Coach Trevor there, and anyone else that want a recording. I'll send that recording, both recordings, but that's what I trained from, was the recordings that we did on Friday and Saturday. When they heard that, it only makes sense to send in houses. And Senior Rights Ms. Karen Geloso, I really appreciate her working with Miss Diane so diligently. I'm telling you. So my WPGW family, everyone listening to my voice, you're in Make Well Real Financial. You're not. You need to get with it. But this is the deal. Load up that portal with Mr. Tracy because it's a win-win. Why? Because even if you say you don't get qualified or they don't contact the person, but then someone else is qualified for the $300,000 home that you submitted, even though you only qualified for $100,000, they close on a home $250 to $500. Let that happen, and that will happen.
Yep.
In my world, it's gonna happen 10 to 20 times a month. That's what's gonna happen for me. You got to say what's gonna happen for you, because I'm about to put them in like 40 going west and 95 south. Okay, might go out I-5, go west all the way up to Canada there. But I'm telling you.
Let me throw this in there just to stop the onslaught. What happens usually is everybody runs out and starts sending us all the Zillow houses that are on Zillow.
No.
Or the ones that are listed with realtors. We know about those homes. Those homes
Okay.
are we have our search programs. When somebody says they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Jacksonville, North Carolina, the first thing we do is pull up our software that shows us all the listed homes and the for sale by owners. So we know about most of those. It doesn't hurt to send them in, because then we know this is what you're looking for. But what we're really looking for is those off-market homes that have ramps in front of them, or the blue tarps on the houses, or vacant and the grass hadn't been cut in a year, or they've got stickers all over the front door where they're leaving and cut the water off. You know, there's a problem with these houses. Let's find out what the problem is and see if us getting involved is a solution. And if it is a solution for that homeowner, or maybe there's been a death in the family and nobody knows what to do with the house, the kids don't live here anymore, we'll buy it like it is. We don't need for them to fix that house up and put it on the market. We're glad to look at it just like it is. So that's a better opportunity than houses that are listed. So that would be my only word of caution, because I got to tell you, when we hit, I forget what group it was we went to, it was probably about 15 people in the group, and we went over this, and man, the next morning the houses started flying in and they were all listed. And so the lady had been on Zillow all night long at like 3 o'clock in the morning. She's sending these houses in, and I had to call her on the phone, and I'm like, look, I appreciate your hard work, but we know about these houses.
Right.
So let's concentrate on some other houses as well. This is the slim picking, the easy stuff. Look around your neck. And I got to tell you, here's what normally happens. I've been doing this long enough. My kids won't even ride with me anywhere, because when I'm riding down the road, I see an empty house 3 blocks down. I can smell it almost. So I'm turning and going in the neighborhood, and they're like, where are you going? I'm like, there's an empty house back here. I got to go to the address. And so I do that on a daily basis. I have an app on my truck. I have 650 homes right now marked that while I'm driving around, and I don't ever stop, because it's a habit now. And what I always tell people, if there's a garden hose hanging on the front of the house, somebody's living there. If there's not a garden hose, it's probably empty. Now that's just my luck. But so you can do that riding through your neighborhood. Go a different way to the grocery store, go a different way, and you will be shocked how many vacant homes are in the area right around where you want to live. Doesn't mean you have to shop where you're living now. Pick an area you want to be, and then start going around that area. Now, I'm not asking you to go drive hundreds of miles every day and spend hours doing it. Just do it going to the grocery store, or taking your kids to school, or going to work. Just go a different route, and you'll be surprised what you will find.
So, Mr. Tracy, recap in reference to the type of houses we want to look for. So, guys, we're not talking about homes on Zillow. They know about those, okay? So we houses that's off the market, those ones with the ramp in. Generally with the ones that are ramp in, it means a senior person perhaps lived there or did live there, and maybe they want to put them into a home, and you guys do have a senior program of some sort there too. So
and
that
I'll
type
tell you
of home.
Too, about that, they may not be ready to move yet.
Okay.
But when they hear about our program and what we're doing for the community, if we can get to them before they make that decision, a lot of times they won't sell to anybody else but us.
Wow.
because they know we're not coming in there to flip their house and just throw somebody in there, the highest bidder. We're actually trying to help their community. And this is a genuine thing. This is not just a talking point. This is exactly what we're doing. And I had a lady not long ago sell us a house, and I think we offered her like $5,000 less than her highest offer. And she said, nope, I don't want it. I'm going with you guys because I know you're going to put a deserving family in there. And my mother, it was her mother's home. My mother would have jumped all over this to give that opportunity to somebody else. So just by us getting in ahead of everybody else, and that's why we're looking for homes that look like they may be headed to that position.
Right.
Because once people know what we're doing, and we tell everybody what we're going to do with this house, we don't, we're telling them we're community-based service, and we're looking for homes to put into our Path to Homeownership program. And we're going to put a deserving family in here that can't go to the bank right now and get and get financing traditionally. We're going to help them and their family get started in their home ownership, Path to Homeownership.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Are we ready for questions?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, all right. So if you have questions, I know some of my guys have questions. Anybody on the line that have questions, please ask those questions. Mr. Tracy love questions. I love questions. I'm scared when people don't ask questions.
I am too. I might not be listening.
Okay. My name is Mary Warren. And the question I have, homeowners that are looking to refinance, does your program deal with that?
No, ma'am. We're typically not set up for that because they would be looking for a cash out. We're not a mortgage company.
Well, I guess my question would be more or less directed to MWR. Do they deal with that type of situation?
Okay.
Miss Mary, did you mention something about the heirs or something about it? Some heirs had it, and what was that question represented? Some siblings. That question.
Yes, the question I have, I know quite a number of families that have heir property and the family can't agree, but I think if I talk with them and let them know that we can help them get that house sold, we could move some of those houses before they just go into foreclosure.
Oh my goodness, please don't let them go into foreclosure, because we run into this a lot, especially with heir houses where they may have had a reverse mortgage. And so part of the reverse mortgage process is they give you an amount that they're going to loan you over the years, and they pay it to you. And then if your taxes go unpaid or your insurance lapses for any reason, they'll start foreclosure on you. And when you die, they get your house. It's really that simple. We do have ways of communicating with the reverse mortgage companies and trying to work something out to satisfy that. But by letting it go, it runs up all the prices and makes things really tough to deal with. So yes, if you know somebody that's in a situation where they've got a piece of property, whether it's paid for or whether it is mortgaged still, we're experts at working with that. And we're glad.
Well, I know about 3 families in my neighborhood that the parents have died because they're my age and the kids don't know what to do with the property.
Right. We're glad to step in and take a look at the situation. And a lot of times what we find is what you just said. If there's 3 kids, 2 of them went one way and the other kid goes another way, it happens. But sometimes a third party coming in and saying, look, we're not trying to buy your home and turn it into this big flip process. We're looking to help the community and put this home, we're redeveloping this basically. They look at it just a little bit different sometimes, and they can put their differences aside. Now, sometimes they can't, but we're here to try to sift through that. And every situation is different. So there is no, this is the way we do it. We're going to have to listen to the story first.
Okay, thank you.
So Mr. Tracy, that was Miss Mary Warren, 79 years young, but she don't move and act like and talk like. She's been in the wellness like 30-some years. And she's like the mother in her community. And what would be the practical steps for her to take when connecting with them to connect to you? Or what would be practical steps, or what should she say to them?
Well, she could just very seamlessly say, look, I know of this company that is a community-based company. They help families end up with home ownership that can't typically go into the bank. And what they have found out is that by putting owners in a home, rather than leaving this house vacant or putting renters in there, which is always a nightmare, to be honest with you, it's going to develop our community into a better place. And just sometimes by that little bit of knowledge, they'll take a look at it, whereas regular investors are just looking, it really is about the numbers and how much can I get out of this house and how little can I put in it. That's the normal way. But for us, we go in and say, all right, where's their situation? How can we help them out of their dilemma right now? And it may just be they can't find a way to agree. Maybe we can find a way for them to agree. I don't know what the solution they might need, or maybe it's about money. Sometimes we can pay more for a house if they don't need all the money right now. So what if they say, well, we don't really need the money, we just don't want to give it away. And they were willing to take owner financing for 5 years and then we pay them out. That might work for them. And if it is, we may be able to pay them more for the home than if we had to pay cash for it. So there are a lot of scenarios, and we just need to find out where they are, what's going on, and then see what kind of solutions we can come up with.
Beautiful.
If I may add, this is Montalvo again, just so much information. If there is no decision finally made, like I said, I do have a lender with me. So if you guys can't get it worked out, give me a shout.
Beautiful. All right. Questions. Thanks for those comments, Mr. Matumba.
And I'll throw this in again. Miss Karen and I were talking earlier today about a house that had been sent in, and it was a duplex. And I said, are we looking at one side of the house, duplex, like a condo, or are we looking at the whole duplex? And she said, well, I think we're looking at one side of it. And I said, well, you know, if we bought the whole duplex and the person moved in one side, that would give them another income, being able to rent out the other side of the duplex, which would only increase their income and their status in what we're doing. So it's all about how you look at what's going on and try to figure out the best way. Now, not everybody might want to be a landlord, especially that close to them. But in a situation where you're struggling to find a solution to maybe not being at the top of the list on income, and you're looking for every opportunity you can, we're even looking into house sharing now, where siblings and people that know each other buy a larger house and live there together because they can live cheaper than if they bought their home on their own. The world, we're just having to adapt to things. Now, we're not going to force anybody to do anything like that. But if that comes up, that is something we can work with in our program.
Wow. Man, this is amazing. This is just amazing. Questions. We'll take one more before we get out of here. Not let's say trigger more, but we're not going to waste time.
Sir, to Mr. Tracy, I just wanted you to elaborate a little bit more on the listed agent and the realtor as we submitted. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for reminding me about that. So
yes,
if you're out looking at houses and you decide to talk to a realtor and they say, oh, yeah, I can help you find some houses to buy. And what you're doing is you're contracting with a buyer's agent. And we really don't need a buyer's agent involved in what we're doing. We can talk directly to a listing agent. That is really the only person we need to involve. There are several reasons for that. We're only adding an extra cost by bringing in a buyer's agent, which there's nothing for them to do. Now, if you were buying a house on your own and you didn't know the process, absolutely, a buyer's agent is a great thing to have because they can help you through the process. We know how to buy the house. We can work through it very quickly. We have all the resources to get that done. So when we add a buyer's agent into the scenario, now we've got to talk to a buyer's agent and a listing agent and the seller and the buyer. So now we've got more people involved, and it just complicates it usually. So what we're really looking for is if you find a property that is listed on MLS and we want to try to work with that, I know the ones that were sent in over the weekend, most of them need some fix-up work done to them. So they're not market-ready properties. So they're not drawing those high prices. So there's probably some room to negotiate. So we want to be able to talk to the listing agent who knows the details about this house. And we can narrow out some offers really quick by going, okay, that won't work and this won't work, but what about this? Whereas if we're having to go through a long train of agents and sellers and buyers, it just takes longer and it gets more complicated. So we're really looking to just work with those listing agents.
Great
Thank you,
question.
Mr. Tracy.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Shear got a hand raised question. Go ahead, Mr. Shear.
Hi, Mr. Tracy. My question that I have is there's Gun Branch Road has an entire complex at the moment that is getting ready to evict all of the tenants there because it's attached to a building that's up for sale. So what would you recommend on getting properties that are located in a complex where there's multiples? It's a 3-story level apartment complex with about 250 residents.
So
Because that's how many units is in the complex.
the guy that has the complex, does he want to sell it?
He is selling it.
So he's already located a buyer.
Not as of yet. It's been
Oh,
listed.
so let's talk. What's he looking
Absolutely.
for?
He'll be with us on Wednesday too, Mr. Tracy. Mr. Shearer will.
Okay,
When
so
we come to the office.
let's try to get in touch with this person who's selling and find out what he's looking for. We have some ways through our trust. We may be able to show him how not to pay any capital gains taxes and change his entire selling process that no realtor, CPA, or attorney has talked with him about.
Come on now.
Now, that doesn't mean
Absolutely,
he's going to, yeah, it doesn't mean he's going to get excited and go, oh yeah, I can save the day.
Right.
But without that conversation, you'll never know. So I have to tell you, this happens all over the place, and I have to look at things on a multi-level dimension. So we all kind of get a little angry when somebody, I hear this every single day. My landlord's selling the property and now I got to move. I got nowhere to go. Well, if this was reversed, now this landlord has an opportunity to make more money on this house that he's paid for, invested in, taken care of, put up with countless number of people. And now somebody's willing to pay him more money than he ever thought he was going to get for this house. And he's going to cash out.
Right.
Now, if we turn this around and it was the homeowner that had this house and they wanted to move and they were going to make more money on this house than they ever thought they would ever get out of this house, they would sell it in a hot minute.
Exactly.
So you just have to look at this and go, all right, this is a great opportunity, but let's find another opportunity within this. And it isn't great that people get moved out of houses because their landlord is looking to sell. But here's our position on that too. If they indicate it, I would just tell you, if somebody's renting, I would say, ask your landlord, is he willing to sell? If they're willing to sell, call me. We'll start a conversation with this person and find out what can we do here? Is there an opportunity to buy this house? And then it'll automatically be in our program. We reach out to absentee owners on a daily basis. And what we're looking for is portfolios, to be honest with you. I'm looking for people who own 7, 8, 10 houses and they're just ready to be done with them. If we ever get to the part where we're serious about talking about buying, the very first thing we do is go to those tenants and say, would you be interested in buying this house if we could make that happen? If they say, no, I hate this house, I don't want to be anywhere near it, it's got a lot of, then we'll move on and put somebody else in that house. But the first opportunity is to find out, you've been living in this house. Some people have been living there a long time. And they would love the opportunity to buy the house, but the landlord never knew how to make that happen. So that's the first thing we do is approach the person living in the house. So I would say, to answer your question, let's talk with the owner. Get him on the phone or get him in some kind of correspondence and let's say, what are you looking for? What have you got it listed for? And what if I could show you a way to save some capital gains? We get a little better deal here. Now,
yes, sir. So we'll be meeting on Wednesday with all 3 apartment complexes and communities that we'll be working with you on.
Well, here comes the other side of this problem. And think about this, if you will. if you brought this guy to me today and he said, yeah, what you're telling me works great, I'm willing to do everything you're talking about, I don't want to manage an apartment complex.
Right.
So somebody would need to be ready to buy that and have an apartment complex, because now you're dealing with a lot of renters, and I'm just going to tell you that I'm out of that world.
Understandable, sir.
I just don't know how to be but honest, and
That's right.
and so I would have to tell you that would not interest me as being something I would step in and buy and then become a landlord to all those people. But somebody out there would.
Right. If we
That-
did
that
it
would-
as a community where the tenants are actually buying them as condominiums.
That might work. Now that I would be interested in, but it would but
Absolutely.
you can't do one of those unless you do them all. So here again, you just knocked out, I would dare say, 80% of the people that live in there
Right.
would be in a different situation if you said, all right, we're going to sell these to you. Even sometimes on our program, they're not ready for that. So all these things start kicking in. But until you start having that conversation and find out how far it leads you and where, sometimes if you find a great deal, a buyer shows up, goes, yeah, I'm ready to step in and take over. Whereas if you didn't have that conversation, he never showed up. So I'm not saying that we have the solution, but we have the path to start down to see if there is a solution.
I have 4 investors, sir, that are willing to go in on these properties.
There we go. We about got this thing solved.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Ms. Cheryl, let's get those contacts, and I'm sure you'll go visit them on tomorrow and Tuesday. You want to see Ms. Karen? You need me to come down? I'll come down and make it happen. But either way, we'll have some meat when we get there, for lack of a better term, when we get to Charleston to meet with Mr. Tracy. Any other questions? Was that it for your question, Mr. Shearer?
Yes, sir, it was.
All right. Any more questions? Any more questions?
One more
Great
question.
information. All right.
We've been talking about people that have houses. What about those folks that have land that want to get houses on them? They're stuck. They're having difficulty getting a house put on or built.
So we don't do much in the construction side of things because that's a whole different animal to finance, and to you got to have people who are willing to build or move or whatever, move houses in. So on the raw land side of things, that's really not my specialty. I wouldn't say that there's not a way to access some of that. And if you had a builder show up and said, look, I'm willing to build. But here's the thing. If you're building a house from scratch, you're going to pay retail market for everything. There's no discount to be had. If I'm out shopping for houses that need some repair work or have already been there, there's typically some kind of discount that I can work out, whether it's terms or price or whatever it is. And so I can put a family in at what that house should cost. When you start building brand new houses, there's no discounts. Everything's retail plus. And getting labor to show up right now is very difficult. The interest rates are going through the roof. Gas is going through, everything just getting higher and higher. So I have not had much success in the new space of things. Now there are those that do it, but I'm not in that space.
Got you. Thank you.
It out then, guys. We thank everybody for dialing in. We appreciate Mr. Tracy, Mr. Matavo for dialing in. What's testimony you guys are gonna be here, and just such. Oh, Coach T said his line is muted. Let me see. I'm grateful. Anything else, everybody golden? Wonderful. As I say, as I travel around the country, around the world, I love each and every one of you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But most importantly, more important, love yourself more than anything else on this planet outside of God. And outside of God, love yourself more than anything else on this planet. Because I promise you, truly to love others, you must love yourself first. This is Kingdom Net Titanium, Andre Dre Waters, and I approve this message. God bless you. The Realtors Education and Rental session is officially over. Enjoy your day.
Have a good weekend, guys.
All right, Mr. Tracy. All
Thank
right.
you, Mr. Tracy.
You're very welcome.